Welcome to Family Business Breakthroughs, where we bring you time saving, money making strategies to improve your business even more. With over 3 decades of experience serving multi generational family businesses, we've got time tested solutions that get the results you're looking for. Listen in and get ready for your next breakthrough. I am your host, Jim Berner, and today I am going to review the 3 game-changing succession secrets you need to know. Let's get into it. So, I came across, some really interesting statistics from the Cornell SC Johnson College of Business, and I'm assuming that, considering this is academia, that they've done some extensive research, right? It only makes sense. So, according to their family business facts, the average lifespan of a family owned business is 24 years. Okay, 24 years. 40% of US family owned businesses transition into a second generation. Approximately 13% are passed down successfully to a third generation, and 3% here, survive to a fourth generation or beyond. In our 30 years of working with multi-generational family businesses, succession is one of the most pressing topics. And the Cornell Family Business Facts say 32% of family businesses were hesitant about the transfer of the business to the next generation, and 9% saw the possibility of family conflict as a result. I'm sure as a family business leader, you are saying, yes, there is conflict in the business. Sometimes more, sometimes it makes Thanksgiving and Christmas a little bit more interesting. Um, I would actually say that in most cases, the family conflict piece is much higher than the 32 or than the 9% that's because what happens when you have a first generation owner trying succession for the very first time, but you have multiple children working in the business? Ooh, talk about challenging, talk about conflict. It can get dicey. And in our 30 years, again, of working with multi generational family businesses, we see a very consistent trend when an owner is ready to turn the page and start their next chapter. And it's not wanting a big old pile of money, right? They're not just sitting there saying, oh, I'm ready to be done, give me my money and let me be on my way. What they want is legacy. For the next gens listening right now, if you're not aware of this, let me explain. And even better, I would tell you to go ask the first gen about this. But what we hear is the legacy that owners want to leave is their family set up for success, their employees taken care of, and their communities are in a better place than they were when they first started the business. The first step in any owner's transition is making the decision of, do they sell or do they pass the company down to the next family member? We've developed systems and processes to help family businesses conquer challenging issues. But one of the most pressing, as I've said before, that we have done is now simplified and work hand in hand, with family succession. And, you know, what I'm talking about is that mom or dad or even grandma or grandpa, they're at the helm of the company and they're now looking to transition out with the next family member looking to step into that CEO, that president position. So for today's discussion, I want to review this from the perspective of both owner and next gen leader today. Okay, so I'm going to be getting into that, saying, okay, I want to call out this person here. This person should ask this. And so when we come back, I'm going to go over the 3 game changing succession secrets you need to know. So stay tuned.
Running a family business comes with unique challenges that not everyone understands. At Meridian, with over 3 decades of experience, we've seen these challenges firsthand. That's why we created Meridian Members, an exclusive platform designed to equip you with everything you need, from articles and videos to in-depth insights on growth strategies, company culture, and streamlined operations. We tackle the toughest family business challenges so you can focus on what truly matters, building a lasting legacy. Whether you're working on team dynamics or preparing for your next leader, Meridian Members is here to support your every step. Meridian is the trusted resource you can count on. Visit us at askmeridian.com to learn more about the resources that will drive your business forward.
Welcome back, everybody. As the famous words of Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right. And today, again, we're reviewing the 3 game-changing succession secrets you need to know. Yes, we are discussing succession planning, and in family business, it is transitioning leadership from one generation to the next. So, secret number 1. Know the desire and intentions of the family members. So let me ask the owners out there a question. If you have multiple children in the business, does one stand out from the rest as to having the passion and talent to take on the family business? Chances are you have someone in your head right now that you're thinking about. So now is the next question. I want to ask the owners again, have you had a discussion with the next gen you think would be a good fit for them to transition to? And I ask this question because we've seen there's an assumption that a transition is going to happen with that person, only to find out that the next gen doesn't want it. They don't want to take over the business. The next gen might have seen their dad or mom, grandpa, grandma be extremely stressed out of the struggle of the business, the hard work that it takes. And even though the business is doing awesome, it's doing great, they just don't want to feel that. This conversation is crucial to the entire succession piece. But for purposes of this podcast right now and this conversation that we're having, let's assume as the owner, you've had the conversation with the next gen, they're on board, they want to take over, they're excited, they're ready to go. Let's jump back to those statistics that we talked about here from the Cornell College there for family business. About 31% of family business owners have no plans to retire ever. In our experience with family businesses, I would say that percentage is actually much higher. And what I mean is that even though the next gen has accepted the position as CEO, the former CEO, aka mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, they stick around in the office. Only in family business does this happen. Let me tell you, have you ever seen somebody retire from another position, but they still keep coming in day in, day out? Right? I don't see that happening anywhere else in the corporate world, right? You say, I'm retiring, see you later, goodbye, have a great day. But in family business, this happens. This is true. This can cause major confusion because if dad or mom, who have been the owners of the company for 30 plus years, 40 years, whatever it may be, is still down the hall, who is the team member? Like, who's the team going to go to when they have questions? Them. They just walk down the hall, especially if the next gen has given them a no on something, right? They're just walking down the hall. Now, next gens, let me talk to you. The most important thing in this transition process is to honor the person who wants you to take over. And the past family members, if you're in multi-generation business, the past family members who put in that time. And I'm assuming that, you want to honor your family, right? They've worked hard to build this. You want to honor them. I know this. I'm assuming that you do. So you need to come from a place of help me understand when I say you need to ask the current owners transitioning out what their intentions are after the transition plan takes place. You cannot make this sound like it's time for the current leaders to hit the bricks. No way. No way. This is an opportunity to understand, the roles in the business. As you just heard the statistic in our experience, owners do not just want to get up and quit and leave. It's not in their blood. It's not who they are. So it's good to know if that owner is seeking to become, chairman of the board, or if they want to remain in the business to continue to provide oversight. But the next gen, is running the daily operations and making the decisions. That is important. Remember that there will be a time that the decision of succession will need to be disclosed to the employees. And the goal in the transition is the employees react and say, okay, I thought they were already running the ship. But everyone has clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Secret number 2. What are everyone's strengths and weaknesses? It is very typical that in first generation transitions. All right. Secret number 2. What are everyone's strengths and weaknesses? It is very typical that in first generation transitions, one of the greatest strengths of the person who has started the company is his or her ability to be a visionary, aka where is the company going? And where do I want to be in 5 or 10 years? It is typical that the next gen can do a very phenomenal job of the day-to-day operations. And don't get me wrong, but there might sometimes be a lack of vision. There are next gens out there who do have incredible plans on where they want to take the business. They're very innovative. They're ready to build, but that can be a challenge. So the next thing the current owner and the next gen need to do, they need to talk about, are the strengths and weaknesses that each one of them possess. And I want to suggest the owners to ask the next gen what they feel what do they feel they are really good at, and where do they feel they fall short. Going to, the example of someone being an awesome visionary, that same person might not be so great at finances. And again, it could be vice versa. They're great at finances, terrible at vision. But, they could be awesome in the numbers, not so much in vision. So knowing where everyone's strengths and weaknesses lie helps everyone define the roles and responsibilities even further, which, again, it only strengthens the company, to move forward in the future. Secret number 3, developing a smart plan. I assume everyone right now is rolling their eyes and saying, duh, Jim, the plan has to be smart, because if it's not smart, then it's not going to work. But I am talking about SMART as an acronym. And if you haven't heard these before, it is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. The purpose of this is so you do not just say, let's transition, then you meander down a path of succession, not outlining what needs to be done, who does what, or anything. Having a written plan in anything you do using this SMART acronym concept avoids the pitfalls. Now, going through a formal succession plan takes a lot more time than this podcast, right? So if you or anyone you know is in need of developing that succession plan, please reach out to our team. We would be happy to sit down, discuss what that formalized process looks like and how we can really help serve you. So in the meantime, let's hit on some high-level subjects. At Meridian, the 3 metrics of a CEO are vision, people, and money, and understanding that these drive the business forward. Without a vision, you don't know where you're going. Without people, you don't have the team or customers to take the business forward. And without money, let's just, you can't do anything without money. So the purpose of the plan is for the next gen to really be mentored into the role as the leader of the company, walking hand in hand with the current leader. There are certainly going to be little nuances that your business faces, and it's a great opportunity for the current leader to ask him or herself, what tasks do only I do, and what tasks do I only know how to do, and what are the most critical aspects of this job to understand, right? That's really key. And the business owner, the person who's currently leading the company, is going to know and be able to say, okay, my son or daughter really needs to know X. And throughout this entire process, communication is undeniably the most important piece as we get to the SMART plan, and really knowing how everyone is progressing. And again, that's the T, timely. It should be defined as setting up regular checkups to talk about progress. What is going well? What's not going well? And how do you overcome some of the obstacles? The other timely portion of this is the owner, the current leader of the business, saying, I want to be out by what? End of the year, 3 months, 5 years. It's critical to know what everyone's timeline is on how to be able to achieve success. So, having breakfast or lunch on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis is a good cadence to build the confidence and trust in one another, to be able to just have these regular discussion conversations of know how the transition is going. So succession, it shouldn't be feared. This is an extremely exciting time because what has been built continues to live for another generation. But you must prepare. So just to recap, and these are just the 3 things, but there is a lot more to succession to this, but let's focus on these. Knowing the desire and intentions of the family members, what are everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and developing a SMART plan. So what I want to encourage everybody right now is that I want you to message me your questions, your comments, and I want to get a segment together where I bring on our executive coaches who want to answer your questions to these challenging, pressing succession topics. So as a reminder, Meridian is here to serve you and your family. If you are looking for a succession plan, leadership, next-gen coaching, or want to attend one of our awesome events, check out the show description and the notes for links to our website on how we can help you, because we're always here. Feel free to reach out with any questions or comments. Hit the subscribe button down below. Catch all the new content. I appreciate y'all listening in, and I will check you next time on Family Business Breakthroughs.